Hello. Hey, how you doing? Alrighty, guys. We're gonna talk about this tour. Sergey will be here in a moment. Math, what up? Gang, gang. It's the fifth. Yep, the fifth official chat. I'm still not sure what this is gonna be called. I guess it's hashtag Gang Gang Media. But we have so much other shit going on that this is like we'll get into this in a moment. Trust me. I don't even have any notes. I don't have any bullet points. We're just gonna go off and just say what has been happening. A lot has been happening. Especially on Sergey's side. I think it's gonna be just me and him for today. And that works perfectly fine. It's actually probably the best. Oh, actually, let me send this link in the in the group chat. That'd be smart, Alyssa. Right, meeting Zoom link. That'd be smart, right? Yes, it would be smart. Perfect. Hopefully everything is running smoothly. How are you guys doing today? Good? Awesome. I assume that. Well, if it was bad, let me know. Let us know in the comments what was so bad about your day. It's okay. Really, well, it's not okay, but you can be honest here. Why does it look so blurry? Whatever. Oh well. It's distracting. Hopefully the fan's not distracting. Start shutting down. Yeah, so there we go. Hello, good sir.
Hey, what's up?
It's good.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Got a new haircut, so
I see.
looking a little better. Well, less punk, but more professional, I guess. We'll
I
see how
know. It's crazy.
it goes.
That's good. Yeah. Either way is good with me, honestly. You rock both looks. Yeah, for sure. Wow. Whew. So a lot's been happening and nothing at the same time. It's so funny. We're in between stage of getting the pieces together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna just be me and you today, which is totally fine. But yeah, today's just gonna be presenting people in detail of what the tour is gonna be about, higher ground, presented by
Which we're gonna have to change the name of already. We're gonna need a different name for it.
Okay, I haven't made anything finalized because I know that anything can change. So bring it.
Yeah. Apparently, we're if we do something there's already an organization called Higher Ground.
Oh.
But I don't really think that there's that it matters. I mean, mostly because, but it might. So,
That's okay.
So a lot's been happening. And you and I are gonna have to talk when we're not being recorded.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to do that after this call because yeah. So
we can just do this for 20 minutes, just all the basics out the way, and then we can talk in private. I'm excited. Yeah.
What's up?
No, oh yeah, we had
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yes, okay. Yes, we could do this for about 20 minutes or so, just to get the basics out to people that are just unaware entirely, and then we can talk in private about specific stuff that's been going on. Oh my.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you could hear me.
Sure.
We're good.
No, you're a little bit
lag, right?
Wait, let me see. Maybe. Yeah. Am I lagging?
You were lagging for me. So
okay, yeah. Hold on. I think it's because I'm on my
Are you getting a lot of like notifications? Oh boy, here you go, guys. Oh man. You may have to leave and come back. Oh man. We're professional, right? Cool. Are you getting a lot of notifications on your phone? Is that?
No. I was actually just I was on my data.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
it wasn't the strongest connection or whatever. Got it.
Yeah, just needed to get onto my Wi-Fi. That's it.
Yeah, because you just came from work, right? Like you just like hop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, actually, I just got off of an important phone call, and that phone call is what we're gonna talk about in private.
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
but yeah, this tour.
The
So like,
nameless tour.
yeah. Oh, I don't even know where to start. Like, my head is swimming. So let's talk about the things that we can do right now. Like right now.
Yes.
So in Michigan, and this is in Michigan, I am going to be posting. I'm going to give you that information soon, but I'm going to be posting all of the shows that we have coming up. They're going to be all benefit shows and awareness shows, like cancer treatment and friends who need to basically help, that need help, relocating, or help friends that need help paying for their parents' medical bills, anything like that. So we're doing like a bunch of benefit shows coming up. And we want to tie the Yang Gang into it. We want the Yang Gang to come out. We want to kind of show our presence, show our support. One, obviously, like, this is definitely humanity first Yang Gang type of event stuff where we're just gonna go out and help the people in our communities. One of the things we want to do is we actually want to basically pick a kid and pay for his lunch for the entire year.
Oh my god.
We wish we could do that with every kid, but
Yeah.
it's like, sorry, but one person, one kid is gonna have his lunch paid for the year, because why not? But we want to get together with schools about that and figure it out. But that's
Wow, dude, that's
why you guys should like our band, because we do good things, and then good things happen in our communities. We're not selfish.
yeah.
But
Investing into the future.
yeah, so yep. So yeah, so the idea is let's get the Yang Gang out to these events. We're actually gonna have a standing gig at one of the better venues out here, and we were thinking for the month of May. And I was thinking if we can make one of those shows like a really good showing of the Yang Gang in Michigan, and just have people come out from wherever they are, and we can make this into a whole Yang Gang event. And that's like where we can even possibly raise money for what we want to do, because the legality of the thing is you can't spend more than $200. You can't spend any money on the campaign at all, because then you're influencing the campaign.
Yeah.
But we can raise awareness, and we can donate money to good causes, and then
Yes.
hope that we can get people to donate to the campaigns directly. And that's the best way for if you're like a local artist trying to get involved in it, help your community, do the things that help your community, and then just by doing that you will bring people out, and by bringing people out they will know. You can tell them about Yang, and they can decide for themselves what they want to do after that. And then usually when you tell people about Yang, they decide to get on the train.
The Yang train. Yeah, so basically, guys, our goal, as always, especially me and Sergey, is to help artists and creative people at least be aware of Andrew Yang, because he's a kid that's super special in this time, that he can actually help artists and creative people right now. Even and tying in our economy and our politics and art, and just culture in general. He's like the so that's why we want to help artists as well. So we we also would benefit from the freedom dividends. So we're just trying to, like I said, spread awareness. And originally, yeah, we would have liked to donate directly to the campaign, but I know FEC rules or whatever, like I get it, no big deal. I think it's brilliant that, bringing schools, or at least like helping like a kid out with only, show, I guess, spread awareness to a lot of like parents and a lot of, especially moms, that is good. Like we mentioned before, like moms have an influence in, what the family decides. When you brought that up to me, I thought it was like the other way around. I'm like, I think like the father maybe have more say, but you know what? And I think the mother, a lot of times, traditional, of course, there's like same-sex parents and everything like that, but typically it's gonna, that's a good way to kind of go at that angle.
Oh yeah, well, you can also, I mean, even with same-sex marriages, you can say it's the caregiver of the two. It's not so that let's get away from mother and father. There's usually the caregiver and the
provider.
Yeah, I'm going to say providers. There's the caregiver and there's the I guess that's it. Yeah, there's the there's the guy that goes out and hunts, or the gal, and then there's the person that tends. And usually that's where you can find a balance. My brother is actually the tender, and his wife is the provider. So
Exactly.
it's not more of a gender role. But yeah, I guess that's caregiver and provider. That would be a really good way to put that.
Love it. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, that's that is the goal here. And it looks like we're definitely making some steps in that direction. Again, guys, if what you can physically do right now is, I will have like links in like PayPal of both of us, especially Sergey and his band, down below. If you're like, okay, I don't know what to do, but here's like $1, like I support this idea. And then we'll let you know, as the week goes on, specific stuff that we can do to really like get this shit in action. But yeah, again, that's why we're doing this stuff, just to keep you guys updated, to make sure that you know as much as we do, if within reason. Okay.
And if you're local bands and you got your stuff on Spotify or YouTube or anything, just start getting together, start creating communities with each other. You're gonna be right now we're busy and we're in the scarcity mindset and we're all afraid to do what we want to do and we're all just working our butts off. And then when we go to play the shows, sometimes, you get that band that doesn't stick around for the other band, or you get the band that thinks that they're already rock stars before making it. And we all know who we're talking about. It's not anybody's fault. Like we're stuck in that mentality right now. But we have to get to the point where like every band you meet, like and follow their stuff, make a playlist of theirs. And then the more people that you can get to do this, you'll start monetizing each other. You will start getting yourself the plays and the follows that you need, and then you can start, building real band communities. I mean, if you're doing any kind of music in a city, there is no reason why all of you musicians shouldn't be in one giant Facebook group that's like this city's local bands, because you're only helping yourselves, you're only helping your fans to connect, you're only helping those people that love to go out and listen to new local music to connect. Because if we're all having shows everywhere and 5 people are coming out to them, great. But if we can have like 2 to 3 shows with a bunch of the bands that everybody knows and we can all come out and support each other, that's how every label was built. Like we got to start building it ourselves. We all know, like, if we're the creators of content right now, we are very bored with what is being created for us. We think it's all cookie cutter and dry and boring, and that's why we decided to do what we do. So let's start supporting each other and building a media around that. And instead of thinking that like we have to break through and get the record label deal or be noticed by alternative press or have to go on MTV. No, like make your own MTV. Start a YouTube channel where you invite bands to play and then interview them. There's a bunch of YouTube channels like that. Just start your own in your local communities and you'll start following each other and you'll start gaining traction and yada, 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 so forth. And then you'll look at it from a year from now and you'll be like, how the crap do we have 2,000 subscribers? Just because you did it. Just because you did it and you decided to help one another. And then do whatever you want with that. But I can guarantee you that if you're an artist and you're doing your thing, and then you connected with a bunch of people, and then you decided to look into politics finally, and you're like, wow, everyone's the same. And then there's yang. And I mean, like, everyone's the same. It's like everyone is the same from Trump to the Democrats. They're talking about the same things, maybe coming at it from different point of views, but they're talking about the same things. And then you have the one guy who's actually talking about us and talking about the way, the way we can ourselves empower ourselves and make our communities better, this is what it's all about. And don't pretend like you don't listen, you don't hear the conversations, or like you don't, you haven't had those conversations of like, oh, how is the world? What do you think the world is like? Is it worth it to have kids? All of that stuff. And like, we've all had the conversations and we're all talking about it and we all feel a little bit powerless, but it's like, there's enough of us now. Like, it. There's enough of us now. We just need to start making our own Facebook groups and making our own like media, because everyone, the people that are making the media for us, the people that own those companies, they're like twice our age. They don't know what we know. Yeah. They don't do what we do. They don't care anymore. They're just detached from the world that we have built. And we, as like, even like 25 to like 45-year-olds, we've already contributed and built onto this world more than people have given us credit for. Yeah. So keep doing it. Keep doing it. We can do it.
That's really good insight. Even beyond the like money, oh my God, people make this world go around. And if we, like, for instance, like, I did not know Sergey if I did not go on this road trip that I was invited to. And then, like, even the guys that I was on this road trip with, Andrew, Hector, and Rob, like, they like, we all like helped each other out, encouraged each other throughout like the whole like 5-day period. Then once we got to Detroit, like, like, we were out and about. Like, there were times that I didn't want to go out, but they're like, no, come out, like, enjoy the people, like, get to know people. And I did, and it was like, at first I was like, oh, of course I love the Yang Gang. But, I'm like a antisocial person. I tend to be kind of like socially awkward. But I still like when I first like saw Sergey, I was like, wait a minute. I have to see that guy. I have to talk to him. There's no way I'm leaving this thing. So it's like that just taking that step, just to putting yourself out there and to get to know people. That is what we're really trying, to get across. Beyond the money. The money is important, but that's how we get there is, the people. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, well said. I mean, and the other thing is, like, think about the people like I was talking about, people that are twice our age or time and a half our age. They built that world and they had a stake in it and they got the people elected that they wanted to get elected. Like, hello, 25 to 45-year-olds. This is our time. This is our time to create something right now. You go out there and you put your feelers out there and you're going to connect. I mean, just what you said. I'm not antisocial, but I like being alone. But mostly I like being alone, but I do, that's part of it. But then, for a while I have felt lonely, and there's a difference. Like, I'm okay with being alone. I love being alone and being by myself, and I don't feel lonely when I'm by myself. When I feel lonely is when I feel like my voice is the only voice, and then you feel very isolated and you're like, well, that's not right. Like, why, there's got to be other people out there. And they're in the Yang Gang, and those are the people. I felt lonely because I was like thinking about the fact that, when automation hits, we can definitely pay for everybody to have a minimum wage. When Elon Musk connects our brains to our cell phones, we are going to, be able to compute at such a level that's going to give us an advantage. And we're just gonna be able to create even more at that point. But we're gonna be able to think better for each other. And altruism is essentially it's gonna win out, because again, when you start, like, if we can talk about policy, real quick, when you start looking into all of the government programs that we spend money on, to either, prevent a bill to get passed or prevent certain people to get elected or, prevent this, prevent that. We're dumping money into making sure that either people are misled or people are fooled or the majority is not the real majority. And that's kind of, like we can save a lot of that money if we just start doing good things, because the more people that are, if somebody does good for someone else, that someone else is going to turn around, do something good for someone else. And, that's infectious, and it is true. It's been for so long, the idea has been, everyone for themselves and, good luck. And I don't understand why. It's that it's not communism. It's not, the whole notion that, as soon as you start thinking about other people, you're some kind of label. As soon as you start thinking about other people, you're Christian. I don't know if you guys realize that. Or like, as soon as you start thinking about other people, you're a philanthropist, or, you're just a nice person. You're not anything else.
That's so true, right? Like, I remember when, even like, again, this is part of why I was so depressed in my senior year of high school. Like, when I was thinking, okay, what do I really want to do and pursue outside of, freaking school? I was contemplating, like, well, I love sociology. I love, like, environmental science. Maybe, like, I could work for a nonprofit or something, or even, take up psychology. I was contemplating these things. And I told my dad this. My dad, like, he's pretty old-fashioned. He, like, he did school. He was a really good student, and now he works at, like, freaking, not IBM, but, like, I don't think so anymore. But, like, he's pretty up there when it comes to, technology, working in the office. So like he said to me, like, oh, there's not a lot of money in like if you go and get a degree in psychology, like you probably will get a good job. And like that really did like affect me, that amongst other things. But I was like, Jesus, like, is that all my parents care about, is me just getting a good job to pay money to get money? Like it really did like make me realize during that time, like, geez, like I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be freaking miserable if I just focus on getting a good job, quote unquote, that the market will appreciate. And that's one of the reasons why I fight so hard for Andrew Yang, because he gets it. He recognizes that like a lot of people, especially in his generation, had really misled us as younger people, that we had like there is no value in, or less value in, helping people and volunteerism and art and creative stuff like that. And we're just trying to reclaim that, And of course, there's older people. There's a lot of boomers that love Yang too. No shade at all. You guys all rock. But it's the reality that like we have to correct what we have to evolve. I guess not even correct, but evolve what we're taught.
Oh, yeah, I will. Yeah, the idea is like to get on the next level of thought. Because like you couldn't just apply the same things that we did in the Stone Age to the agricultural age. You couldn't do what you did in the agricultural age to apply to the Renaissance, and you couldn't do in the Renaissance when we started building up major cities and stuff like that. We've always had to surpass. And I mean, the best way to think about it too is like, every Plato, every Newton, every Einstein, every Tesla, there was one of them and everybody said that they're wrong.
Yeah.
And then, a bunch of people were wrong, and everybody thought that they were the smart ones because they're in the majority. And there's nothing wrong with that. And like, it's, I don't want to, like, I've noticed that a lot of, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but a lot of people got tricked with Donald Trump. And because they thought that they were getting one thing, and that's not exactly what they got. Because yes, we wanted to break the wheel, and yes, we wanted to get a non-politician in there again, and we wanted somebody to stand up for the stuff within our borders and really make Americans feel a little more self-worth. When we're thinking about it, like the way the Depression was hitting us, like, yeah, we wanted that self-worth. We wanted to be proud to be Americans again, instead of feeling like, oh, we're these Americans that everybody just looks at us as being this stereotypical American. And but we didn't get that. And when it came out that not only did we get that, but we also, we almost got the opposite of that, then everybody felt really tricked. And then people started attacking Trump voters. But it's like it's not your fault for being tricked, but when you feel stupid, when you are tricked and you start feeling that, like, oh, am I dumb? That hurts. That's very, like, when you feel that way, it hurts. It hurts your pride, but it also hurts you as a human being, because then you start to question a lot of things. And I think when people started attacking each other over political views, and people started kind of, bunkering down into their camps, this is what happened. Is certain people made fun of others, like, oh, you're dumb, I can't believe you voted for Trump. It's like, they weren't dumb. They really genuinely thought that it was going to go in a different direction. And you can think about it like, yes, it is Donald Trump, but also it is all of the politicians that are still in there with Donald Trump. I mean, there's, the government is a lot of people, and it's a lot of these people that are still coming together and being the same corrupt politicians that we know them to be. So, in a way, we did get even the people got the problem right. We have to get politicians out of there. Like, who do I want to see on the on the panels and in the cabinets and stuff like that? I want to see teachers. I want to see scientists. I don't want to see lawyers. I want to see doctors in the medical field, but I don't want to have a doctor, oversight a zoning committee. I don't want that. I want an architect and an engineer to be in the zoning committee. I want, the person in charge, or the person that's like the head administrator of NASA. He doesn't have to be a scientist, but he probably has to have some kind of background in science and have an understanding of what we're doing, so he can better understand when his advisors tell him something, he can make his own opinions on it too. That's what I want to see. Instead of just seeing the same old canvasser, popularity figure, a name, that doesn't represent us as Americans. Us as Americans, we really, when you think about it, it boils down to, like, we're either teachers, scholars, or we're artists. Because if you're not learning something or teaching something or expressing something, you're not really doing anything. And that goes for, anybody from a doctor to a carpenter to anything. Because, even a server, like, you are teaching people how to do that correctly. And then you're learning, and then you're going, and you're like, your artistry and your serving is what you do. Like, you're having people enjoy a great time, even though nobody really wants to go out and talk to a snooty server. Like, it's weird that we, even like going out is like this play that we have to play to be like the perfect server and the perfect busboy and the perfect host, the perfect manager, the perfect atmosphere, all of that stuff. So that's who we are. We aren't these like rigid lawyers and doctors that just have no soul. We really, like, you got to feed the mind, the body, and the soul. and two of the three of those are really not being fed right now at all. We're barely feeding the body.
It's the reason why, majority of Americans are overweight. Including moi. It's a lot. It's a lot mental. It's a lot, again, like, resources, like, what can you actually buy, our education on food and how our food is produced is shit. Nobody gives a shit, and it shows. So, like, man, you're right. Yeah, we have some work to do there. Well, I have not some faith. I have a lot of faith. Okay. So, there's not going to be a lot of details. Like, literally, like, what the only thing that I wanted to, like, do is, like, ask, like, okay, like, what should I change my YouTube name? But now that, like, we don't know the name yet, or you'll at least tell me why afterwards. Or no, well, the copyright thing, that's one thing, but the higher ground. But, so since I can't, like, that's the only thing I really, like, had, like, a talking point. I had no notes for this. I just wanted to do, like, a free-for-all. This how you doing, but I'll keep my YouTube name the same for now. I was thinking, like, maybe turn it into, like, Artist for Yang, YouTube. But again, like I do want something specifically for the tour as well. So that's that's my thing.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
and I'm gonna be getting in touch with the actual artists for Yang people, and well, I think they're like on Facebook and
Yes.
Instagram, and we're gonna pool all of people resources together. So hopefully that's gonna, I'm gonna try and get in contact with them today, and so over the weekend we'll be able to do what we got to do.
Are you collecting emails?
But yeah,
or are you just like DMing people? Like, how are you doing that?
What's that?
How are you like gathering people's emails, or are you just DMing people like, one by one? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah, so the artists for Yang, they're already a group, so I'm just gonna get in contact with whoever is moderating their group, and then for how am I gonna find new artists? So the idea is right now the best way to do it is like through like Reverb Nation and Bandcamp, and then you can go by region. And I'm just listening to bands that I like. I'm looking at I'm just going through the most active bands and the most recent bands, whoever's posting right now, whoever has actually got something going on. And then, yeah, I am just DMing them right directly, sending, if they have an email, they give me an email, great. If they have a Facebook, I just contact them through Facebook, great. And there are bands, like some of them, they're like, oh, we don't play out, but, we would love to help out. Then there are a couple that are like, yep, we'll be interested. And it's amazing that, like, I would think that because it's somewhat tied to a campaign, it would kind of run in a snag, but people don't care. They're like, yeah, sure, like it's work.
Yeah, people want, we should be surprised, but are we really? Like, people want to go out and do this shit. Like, people want to, like, help. This is in our biological nature. So it's like, damn. Like, of course, Oh. But yeah, so, okay, great.
Yeah.
I'll link all that below. I'll link the Artists for Yang Facebook, which I am in now. That's good. And I'll link Reverb Nation and Bandcamp. So if you guys are, I actually never heard of both of those, Reverb Nation and Bandcamp. I'm not that into the music scene like that. So that's that's fun that I'm learning. So I'll link all that below, guys. Check that out. Wow. Okay, yeah, we'll start to wrap this up because I'm so curious to know what's been going on. Sorry, guys, you're not invited. But when we get, of course, we'll get to know more stuff as we go along, as time goes along. Yeah, okay. Any final thoughts, Sergey? Any peeps?
Yeah, I mean, as a final thought, it's just, go start doing stuff. There's nothing else better. There's no better time for it. Start transitioning and start doing stuff that you think is going to help your community. Pick up some trash, around your houses, around your neighbors' houses and stuff like that. Go to your park and hang out with people. Just talk to your neighbors, the ones that you don't know. Talk to your neighbors across the street and down the street. Just start meeting each other, talking to each other, and we're about to enter a new world, so let's enter a new world as friends, not as enemies.
Oh, I love that. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, links are all down below. Whatever you need, I got you. Even comments below, we always reply. So, yeah, again, thank you. And have a good one. Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye.